welcome back to the podcast. My name is Ari. We have another episode for you in the Law of One series, the principle of crystal healing, or the principle of crystal healing. And I used to never really believe in crystals or crystal healing until reading this material. This material has really opened my mind up to many more possibilities. And ultimately, it's up to you to experiment and to discern and to decide what to believe and what works best for you. And so this quote by Ra about crystal healing, it says, on the Law of One, Book 1, page 72, the principle of crystal healing is based upon an understanding of the hierarchical nature of the structure of the illusion which is the physical body, as you would call it. There are crystals which work upon the energies coming into the spiritual body. There are crystals which work upon the distortion from spirit to mind. There are crystals which balance the distortions between the mind and the body. Without the relative crystallization of the healer working with the crystal will not be properly charged. The other ingredient is the proper alignment with the energy fields of the planet upon which you dwell, and the holistic or cosmic distortions or streamings which enter the planetary aura in such a manner that an appropriate ratio of shapes and placements within these shapes is of indicated aid in the untangling or balancing process. To go through the various crystals to be used would be exhaustive to this instrument, although you may ask us if you wish in another sessions. The delicacy, shall we say, of the choosing of the crystal is very critical, and in truth, a crystalline structure such as a diamond or ruby can be used by a purified channel who is filled with the love/light of one in almost any application. This, of course, takes initiation, and there have never been many to persevere to the extent of progressing through the various distortions leavings which initiation causes. So, crystal healing is based upon an understanding of the quote-unquote hierarchical nature of the structure of the illusion which is the physical body, meaning that our physical body is an illusion, it's not actually physical, and it is a hierarchy, kind of like the pyramids are a hierarchy. So we are made of energy, we are made of different types of energy. And we need to go within ourselves, maybe through meditation or introspection or learning more about this information to really understand ourselves and understand our structure better and understand the distortions which make us up. And Ra describes that there are crystals which work on the energies coming into the spiritual body. There are crystals which work upon the distortion from the spirit to mind. And there are crystals which balance the distortions between the mind and body. So this means, according to Ra, we have at least three bodies. We have the spiritual, the mind, and the physical. And one of the most important parts that it talks about with crystal healing is that you need a quote-unquote purified channel to charge these crystals. This is the most important aspect of crystal healing. And it also mentions that there haven't been many people that are willing to go through the process of initiation, to go through the various distortion leavings, whatever that means. It probably means that realizing that you are not your ego, you are not your body, realizing intelligent infinity, realizing the love and light of the creator of the one. And you really need this crystallization of the healer, at least the relative crystallization of the healer working with the crystal, or the crystal will not be properly charged and the crystal healing won't work. I know this may sound crazy if you're not into this stuff, and I'm not even at the point clearly that I could be able to do this, but I'm a lot more open-minded than I once was. And I know that this takes a lot of practice, a lot of time, and a lot of effort. And the other aspect in crystal healing is the proper alignment with the energy fields of the planet, as well as the alignment with cosmic energy and distortions. And this is extremely interesting, is that it's not just an inner process, it's also being aligned with the outer world. As below, so above. You have to be aligned within yourself, the energy within your own bodies, and then the energy within the outer bodies, within the earth, within the solar system, within the galaxies. And it's interesting that Ra calls crystal healing a type of untangling or balancing process. It seems that it's all about subtle energy. Crystal healing is all about subtle energy that I didn't used to be aware of, energy that I've only started to become aware of now through meditation, introspection, and reading this material. And through practice, you become to kind of untangle or balance your energy, realize the distortions that is going on. And Ra doesn't mention all the crystals in really crystal healing because it would take too long. It's very specific. Ra says that the choosing of the crystal is very important for a specific healing or a specific task that you want to do, but it uses the example of diamond or ruby, which can be used by really any quote-unquote purified channel who is filled with the quote-unquote love/light of one in almost any way, in almost any healing application, which is very interesting to think about. We give value to these things like diamonds or rubies, probably because we think they look nice, but maybe there's actually a healing principle to them if used with a purified channel, which is a very interesting insight to take away from this quote, from this passage. And of course, this crystal healing takes initiation, takes a lot of practice and learning, trial and error. And as we'll see in the next episode, it may have something to do with why the pyramids were built. Stay tuned for that one. This is crazy. I want to know, what do you believe? Let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts on crystal healing. Do you use crystals? Which ones, if you do? In what way? For how long have you been using them? Have you seen any impact on your life? Have you seen any really healing principle from these crystals? I would love to know, love to start a discussion, because I'm very open-minded on this type of material, and I'm always looking to just learn new things and get different people's perspectives on this.